welcome to another episode of Talking to Myself. I'm your host, Jake Letizia, and this is the podcast where I look into a camera and I talk to myself. How's it going? How you doing? I hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing great. Hope you had a good weekend or Halloween weekend, whatever you want to fucking call it. If you want to be I was going to say if you want to be an asshole and call it Halloweekend, but you know what? I'm the asshole for thinking Halloweekend is an asshole thing to say. It's not, dude. It's a lovely thing to say. If you want to be corny and weird and cliche on Halloween, fuck it, dude. I saw somebody post something that was like, hey, you being really into Halloween isn't a personality trait. And I wanted to back him up and be like, yeah, fuck those people. But at the same time, I was like, oh, yeah, if that's going to be your personality trait, fucking let it, dude. It's better Halloween be your personality trait than cocaine, you know? It's better to have Halloween fill the void in your life than pornography. You know what I'm saying? It's better to spend all of your energy one night into dressing like Jack Skellington rather than waste away 1,200 hours of your life on God of War. Do you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is the things that are my hobbies or the things that I spend time on or I'm very much into, when they stack up to being interested in Halloween, mine aren't much better, you know? And also, I like Halloween. So I can't shit on somebody for liking it a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's a good holiday to like a lot. Sure, people can get annoying with it same way people can get annoying with anything, you know? When people have a nice Christmas decorations, like good quality, like when you see a lawn that's like decked out with fucking Santa's sleigh and 3,000 elves and all this bullshit, when you see like somebody who their thing is to decorate their lawn on Christmas, it's dope. But if they're trying to light up the whole block, you're like, take it down a couple notches. Leave me the fuck alone. This is your thing. Do you know what I'm saying? If somebody loves fucking Halloween and they want to dress up in 17 costumes over the course of 3 days, that's tight. But if you get pissed at me for only wearing a Letterman jacket as my outfit, calm down, you know? I don't like when things are forced upon me. But if you want to take it upon yourself to be really fucking into something, go with God, you know? Anyway, that's not even what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is how I can hear the radiator in my apartment right now. Hey, dude, you jumped the gun. My building jumped the fucking gun. I don't know how it works. If it's once it hits a certain degree outside, you have to put the heat on. But when I got home today, I was in a fucking sauna, dude. I was inside of a sauna. Okay? It felt like being tucked inside of my mother's cunt. That's what it felt like being in my apartment. I swear to God. I felt like I was back in the vaginal canal being birthed. That's how fucking hot and damp and gross it was in here, dude. Okay? My last apartment, I had a problem. The heat was never on. It was the fucking middle of winter. It was 20 degrees and the heat was not on. And then you'd be like, hey, the heat's not on. It's freezing out. And they'd be like, no, it's going on. And I'm like, 2 days have gone by. Where's the heat, dude? We're going to fucking report you. And then I reported them and they were like, why'd you report us? Why didn't you tell us that the heat wasn't on? And I go, I did several times. And now I'm in an apartment where it's 52 degrees for 1 day, and they go, hey, dude, that's enough for us. Crank it up. It's so not the time for the heat to be on this aggressively that I just had my air conditioner on to fucking offset the heat. Because the window didn't do enough. That's how you know it's not ready for the heat. If it's hot in your room and you open the window and it's not fucking filling up this 4x4 space with cold, that means it's not cold enough to have the heat on. I don't have a big room, dude. Even for New York's sake, it's not the biggest of rooms. A cool breeze should fill it up should fill this room up enough for me to shiver, all right? If that's not happening immediately upon opening it a crack, that means the heat shouldn't be on. If I got to set this thing to 64 degrees to not feel like I'm inside of my mom's vagina being birthed as a little fucking wee infant, shouldn't be on, dude. Tight. Lucky penny, dude. Lucky penny. Is it lucky if you already fucking obtained it? That's always my question. If you already have obtained the penny, but then you find it heads up again, is that double luck? Is that half luck? Is that no more luck? What's the answer? Who knows? Doesn't matter. Anyway, Halloween was fine. Now what am I supposed to do? Take the air conditioner out because they put the heat on? But then if they put the heat on, right? And I take the air conditioner out, now I have nothing to offset the heat when it's fucking only 57 degrees and for some reason the heat is fucking 92 in here. Goddamn. Why do we not? It's weird how climate change is It's like the temperatures are not the same as they used to be, but no businesses are like adjusting to climate change. You know what I'm talking about? Like now what's going to start happening is because it's been just cold enough, you're going to go into a lot of buildings, you're going to go into Starbucks, and it's going to be fucking stifling hot. And it doesn't matter if tomorrow it's 72. What matters is today it was 49. So the fucking heat is kicked on and it will not turn off until it's the summer. God damn it. Anyway, Halloween, dude. It was pretty cold this weekend. It was good weather. It was good. On Friday night, it started fucking pouring rain, and we were going out, and people I was with were like, damn, dude, it's raining. And I was like, yeah, but this is perfect. Literally lightning struck through the sky, and I was like, it couldn't be better Halloween weather. Which, I don't know. I feel like I was getting pushback on that, but it's like, dude, frightful weather for a sleigh ride together with you, dude. It's going to be hard to travel in snowy weather on Christmas, but you want it, dude. You want enough snow to maybe die on the way to see your family. That's magical. It's a magical, beautiful, meaningful Christmas if you almost slide off the road while you're on your way to see a nephew you fucking can't stand. You know what I'm saying? You're on your way to see several uncles who you're like, I don't really remember their names, but I remember talking to them, and they're not the best. That's a good Christmas. Enough snow to almost save you from life. That's what I want. Okay? I want to maybe get struck by lightning. I want a car to maybe slide into the sidewalk and hit me on Halloween. That's scary, dude. It's a spooky holiday. Also, it's a sexual holiday, dude. Well, you don't want to be wet on a sexual holiday? It's a sexual holiday. Halloween is the unsad version of Valentine's Day. Because Halloween and Valentine's Day are both like you should go fuck somebody holidays, but on Halloween it's like it's under the guise of a costume. Halloween's better as a kid. It's so much better as a kid. When you're a kid, it's all about dressing up like a fucking dude you saw in a movie and getting a lot of candy. That's what Halloween is like. Halloween, when you're a kid, is about you pretending that you're the actual Batman and getting a bunch of candy in a sack with your friend who's dressed like fucking Peter Pan or some shit. Like, that's so much better and more fun than going to a party and wearing a costume that's very non-committal because you still want to look fuckable enough to not have sex with someone. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I would rather go into the night thinking to myself, I might be the real Batman than go into the night going, I hope I make enough of an effort to have sex with somebody. I'm just saying one is more fun. One is immediately more fun. Even now in my adult life, I'd rather pretend I'm Batman. But I don't have that belief anymore. The magic is gone. That's the innocence of youth that people talk about. People talk about loss of innocence like, oh, they had sex, now they lost their innocence. It's like, no, dude, you lose your innocence when you no longer can believe. I told my mom one time, no joke, dude, no joke. And this either means I'm dumb as fuck or I have a beautiful imagination. It depends on how kind you want to be to me. But I said to my mom one time, not joking at all. I looked at my mom one night after she tucked me in the bed. This is not a joke. I looked at my mom and she had tucked me in the bed and then she was walking away. And she was walking to the door. And like as she was leaving the room, like a fucking movie, because I watched too many movies as a kid, so I was like, dude, I'm going to make my life a movie right now. I stopped her. I was like, Mom? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, I know this isn't possible. I said, I know this isn't possible, but I'm going to be a superhero when I grow up. And my mom looks at me and she smiles and because she's a good mom, she doesn't laugh at me. She holds back her fucking laughter that she should throw in my face, and instead of laughing in my face, she just smiles and go, I believe you. And I go, good night, Mom. She goes, good night. That's a good mom, dude. That's a good mom, dude. Because she should have shit all over my dream. She should have been like, that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. That's not possible. Go to bed. But she wasn't, dude. She's like, yeah, man, you can shoot webs. Whatever, man. Just go to sleep. Just don't be cranky, dude. Just don't be cranky. You can fly, dude. It's all good. You're from Krypton. I don't give a shit. Just go to sleep. And that's better. That's the innocence of being a kid. That's what it is. Also, I like how innocence, a childhood innocence, is like, that's the go-to. It's like, oh, he lost his innocence because he knows what sex is now. It's funny how we perceive the desire of sex as like the thing that destroys all goodness. The thing that destroys your soul is becoming an adult and then always in the back of your mind being like, I gotta fuck somebody. It does. It honestly does. I don't disagree with it. It's a lot. It's too much. It's too much for the human brain. It's too much of a burden. It's too much of the burden of adulthood is to always in the back of your mind being like, but I should. You can never have a good time because you're always like, but I should. But maybe I should meet some. No, maybe. You're with your friends. Stop. Anyway. Halloween was fine, man. Too long. I can't wait for fucking Halloween to be on a Monday next year. I can't wait. Because a Monday is long enough out of the weekend where you might not celebrate. You know what I'm talking about? Where you're like, I don't know, Saturday's kind of far enough away from Monday where I don't even know if I want to wear a costume. But Sunday was the perfect day to be like, hey, let's do Halloween every single night. To the point where you get to you go out Friday, you dress up and go out Friday, you dress up and you go out Saturday, and then by the time you get to actual Halloween, you go, I'm kind of done with Halloween. I'm done with all this shit. Now that it really counts, I need to fucking stay home and be sad. The post-Halloween sadness was real this year. I don't know what it was, man. Everyone I knew, including myself, was bummed the fuck out. I don't know what it was. No, I know what it was. It's because, like I said earlier, Halloween is a sexual holiday. That's what it is, dude. Halloween, whether you like it or not, is a holiday where you're like, man, maybe something will happen. And then we had 2 nights of that. We had 2 nights of, dude, it's Halloween, bro. We're going to fucking... I'm going to meet the love of my life in the fucking Catwoman outfit this weekend, dude. I'm going to go to a party and there's going to be a woman in a Catwoman outfit and we're going to get married someday. 2 nights of that. And then that Sunday you're like, none of it happened. And it's true. It's all my friends who are single. Actually, my friend friends of mine who are in relationships, they weren't bummed out. They were just annoyed. That's what happens. If you're single, the day after Halloween, if you're single, you're really sad. And the day after Halloween, if you're in a relationship, you're the most annoyed you've ever been in your life. Those are the 2 options. Those are the only two feelings you can have. If you don't have either one of those, you're not human. You're not breathing. But both of you are tired. Both of you are tired and hungover if you drink. That's the similarity. That's where we all connect. We're so hungover we want to kill ourselves. But one of us is so sad we want to die, and the other one is so annoyed they want to kill. That's what we're doing. I went to some parties that were kind of fun, though. They were kind of chill. I went to one... Well, I don't know. I don't know who listens to this. I was going to say I went to one party that was sick and one party that was okay. Forget I was going to say it. I just said it, so fuck it. If the people whose parties I went to are listening, you don't know which one. Never specified, okay? Never specified which was the lame one and which was the good one. I won't specify what day was which option, but one of them was bad. That's what I want you guys to know. I won't specify because I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I will say enough so anyone listening to this knows I had an okay time one of the nights. No, it was fun. Both parties were cool. It was fun to see everybody. One of the parties, just more was going on at one of the parties. That's it. Not that the other party wasn't good, just more was going on at one of the parties. And I haven't been to a party like that in a long time. This was the first party I've been to post-pandemic where it felt like a fucking party. It felt like COVID never existed. It just was like people were all crammed into this apartment. Everyone was dressed up. It felt like an old Halloween. In a good way, you know? I mean, everyone at that party was... I mean, we were in the heart of Brooklyn, dude. I'm sure everyone was vaccinated. And the person hosting it is a person who I don't think he would know anyone who was not. You know? We were safe. It was not an outbreak. Maybe it was. No, it wasn't. We were fine. Trust me. I don't know. No, it's fine. Anyway. But, it was a chill time. Somebody... Dude. There was this fucking guy there, dude. Oh, man. I don't know what it is. Every time I go to a party, there's always one guy who just fucking makes me so mad. Who just is the worst person, you know? And he's always the same dude every time. I talked about this years ago. I went to a party and there was this dude in a fucking plaid suit who had a fucking very coiffed head. And he was a thin, good-looking dude. Thin, good-looking... couldn't tell if he was an art bro or a finance bro. He was like somehow packaged together in a plaid suit, coiffed hair, and his name was Leo, and he kept bragging to women that he was a Leo named Leo, okay? Which is the worst fucking thing you've ever heard in your entire life, and that guy is so unself-aware that he doesn't kill himself after he says that. Do you know what I'm saying? If you say that I'm a Leo named Leo, you can't exist in the society anymore. I don't think so. I think you need to be excommunicado, dude. They need to John Wick you out of existence. Or you need to take yourself out. You need to be self-aware enough to know I shouldn't say that to people, especially if I'm trying to have sex with somebody. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not a good... And it didn't work. I watched women... There's always, every fucking party you go to, there's always a handsome dude who women are excited to see but not to talk to. Do you know what I'm saying? I watched this dude, this Leo named Leo, and also this other guy at this party, at this Halloween party, do the same exact thing where they would approach women and the women would smile and light up like, oh yeah, oh sick. And then he would come over and he would start talking and then she would start going like this. Oh, okay. She'd do a lot of like, oh, yeah? And then, oh, you work there. A lot of, oh. No, I don't know. Oh, you like my, okay. Yeah, you look, yeah. I think my friend is over there. That's what would happen every single time. He would say his thing, because a guy like that has his thing, his fucking spiel, his fucking, the thing that worked one time that he was like, now this is the thing that gets me. That's, I think a lot of dudes, they somehow have sex with somebody one time, and it's through some fucking spiel that they say, and then they're like, well, that worked, so now I'm just gonna do that spiel until it works on other. But then you're just having sex with people who that shitty fucking paragraph you created works on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. Maybe you should just like talk to somebody and have a conversation and see if it works out, instead of being like, I'm going to talk about altruism and selfishness. And if she's boring enough to think that's impressive, maybe I'll get laid. Fuck that, dude. Shut up. Anyway, this dude bothered me especially because his name was Jake. He bothered me on multiple levels. He had a very lazy costume. And so did I, though, to be fair. I had a lazy costume. My costume was Eddie Brock, dude. But I didn't fucking... Okay, so I don't know if you saw Venom 2, but in Venom 2, Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy, has the same Detroit Lions Letterman jacket that Eddie Murphy has in Beverly Hills Cop. Now, I was going to get that Letterman jacket and just be like, oh, I'm Eddie Brock. But all of the Letterman jackets online for that specific Detroit one had the wrong coloring, and I don't know why. Like the cuffs were blue, and it's gray in the movie. And I was like, what am I gonna have to Sharpie this in gray? I don't want to do that. Also, it's $90 to get a fucking Letterman jacket. I don't want to. And then I knew back at my parents' condo, I had a Letterman jacket from middle school that I had as a fucking football boy, as a pudgy little football kid in 6th grade. I got a Letterman jacket. And so I was like, oh, I'll just wear that. It's close enough in color, and then I'll tape the Detroit Lions thing to it. Now, when push came to shove and Halloween showed up, I didn't put a Detroit Lions thing on it because I was like, oh, I don't even have a printer. Also, I don't want to do that. And I thought about putting a pin on it, but then I was like, I don't want to fucking pin this thing, this jacket that just is a memory at this point. I don't want to ruin this thing. I want to fucking wear it. I don't know. Maybe I want to wear it too. I don't know. Maybe it looks, I don't know how it looks on me. I don't want to fuck up this thing from my childhood. So I just ended up wearing it, and it looked pretty good. It looked good enough where I was like, oh, this is I like wearing this. And that's all I had on. And then people would come up to me and be like, who are you? I'd be like, Eddie Brock. And then people who saw Venom were like, oh, I guess that's who you are. And then people who I play video games with in the Discord who, like, when we were in the Discord, the only people who were like, this is a great costume, were people who literally own Tom Hardy in Fortnite that I play Fortnite with. Do you understand? So they don't count because we were all playing as him in a Letterman jacket. And then I was like, oh, I'll do that for Halloween. And then everyone's looking at him and then looking at me and being like, yeah, that'll work, dude. You'll look enough like a guy. You and Tom Hardy both look like dudes, and if you wear Letterman jackets, you'll get it. So I can't get too mad at this guy for not having a low effort costume, but still I fucking hated his costume. It was because it was also just, I don't like non-specific costumes. Like, I don't like when people just dress like a skeleton. It's like fucking pick a fucking, pick something iconic. You know what I'm saying? Pick a franchise film to rip a character out of. Do something that's iconic, man. Just be Prince or something. You know what I'm saying? Be a guy. Be a human. Be a thing that you can say, I'm that thing, and then people recognize it. Don't say I'm a skeleton. You're like, all right, cool, man. I'm the Grim Reaper. All right. Even that is more of an entity than just a fucking skeleton. I'm a zombie. I hate when people dress like fucking zombies. To me, you know why? Because it's such a high effort, low effort fucking costume. You might as well just wear a mask if you're going to be a fucking zombie. No, but I spent 14 hours on this makeup. Yeah, it wasn't worth it, dude. Put it this way, do you know any of the names of the zombies in The Walking Dead? No, dude, because who gives a fuck? It's a bunch of extras and makeup. Be Norman Reedus. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, he was wearing, I was annoyed because he was wearing just a suit and a fucking like orgy mask. Like a Phantom of the Opera mask. That wasn't a Phantom. It was just a masquerade mask. He was just wearing a masquerade mask and a fucking suit. Okay? So if you asked him what he was, what would he say? He would just be like, oh, would he say Eyes Wide Shut? I don't think so, dude. Because he didn't look like Tom Cruise. You know what I'm saying? He had a fucking beard. Okay? If you're going to have a low effort costume, at least kind of look like the dude, you know? So I don't know what the fuck he was because I didn't even ask, but it was so low effort in a specific kind of way that I hated that I just already didn't like this guy. But I gave him the benefit of the doubt because I don't know this man at all. But we're all standing in the kitchen because for some reason I'm always standing in the kitchen in the way of everyone trying to get to the fridge. Bad spot, dude. Why do I do that every time? I do that every time and it's always a dumb fucking move. Anyway, I'm standing in the way with friends of mine, and then he comes in, and we're talking about somebody named Devin at the party. There's somebody named Devin, and then the person was like, oh, I'm also named Devin. And they're like, oh, shit. For some reason, there were two Devins in the kitchen. They're like, how do you spell it? And they both said Devon. And they were both like, oh, I've never met someone who spells it that way. And I'm standing there going, that seems very surprising, dude. I can think of at least one person named Devin, but I don't know if it counts because it's a porn star's name. I don't know if that really counts because it's some person who created an alias for themselves so they can fuck people on camera. Don't know if that counts, dude. Other than that, don't really know any Devins. I knew one from high school, didn't know him well enough to know how he spelt it. And now that I think about it, he did spell it with an IN, so you guys are probably more right than I am. The only person I know who spelled it with an ON is somebody who made that name up for themselves. So ON sounds kind of made up. Now, I don't want to say they have made up names, but that's what the energy was like. Anyway, they're talking about that, and this dude walks over to the fridge, and then he just says to us, even though we're not talking to him, he just goes, yeah, I bet you there'll be at least 3 Jakes at this party. Anyway, we'll leave it at that, and I'm going to do the second part of the podcast because the camera's about to run out. I'll see you guys in a second. What's up? I'm back. So this guy, the Masquerade Man, Phantom of the Opera knockoff, goes, bet you there's at least 3 Jakes at this party. Now, it immediately becomes funny to the people there because they're friends of mine and they know that my name is Jake. So immediately we all know there's at least 2 Jakes at the party. But it's funny that he just said that. And also, it's my name and it's me, so they're respectful friends enough where they're like, well, let's see what he says now. And I just say, oh, yeah? And he goes, yeah, I bet you there's at least 3 Jakes here. It's a pretty common name. And I was like, I go, oh, how do you, it's really that common of a name? And he's like, yeah. I go, well, how many Jakes do you know here? How many Jakes do you know that are here right now? And he was like, oh, I only know of one. That's me. And then I was like, oh, now I'm even more annoyed. Because I thought he was just like throwing in another name in the conversation. Like, oh, like Devin is not a common name, but I bet you there's a bunch of Jakes here. I thought he was just like talking shit about the name Jake. I don't know why. I mean, but for some reason that was better to me than him being like, oh, let me bring up something about my name. But it is emblematic of who this guy is in general. He's somebody who's like, let's make it about me right now. So he goes, well, I'm the only Jake I know right here. I go, oh yeah, I'd be curious if there were other Jakes here. And my friends are looking at me like, well, why are you fucking with this guy? But they're also, they were laughing. They thought it was fun. It was fun. It was a fun thing to do. So then I leave this guy, and then I'm walking around the party and hanging out with a different friend. And I see him doing the rounds, doing what I was saying before, talking to people who are excited at first and disappointed immediately after he starts talking. And then I somehow end up back in the kitchen, and then he comes back in the kitchen, and he was like, and then we say something to each other, and they goes, oh, hey, man, I feel like we didn't formally meet before. And I was like, oh, no, we didn't. And he goes, oh, I'm Jake. And I go, I'm Jake. And he looks at me like I'm fucking with him. And then he was like, oh, wait. I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I didn't hear you say earlier when I was talking about the Jakes at the party. I didn't hear you say that your name was Jake. And I said, no, I didn't. And he just looks at me like, what? Like, what's going on? Which is fair, because I would react the same way. What is this guy fucking with me? And I kind of was. Didn't like his vibe, dude. Didn't like his energy. Didn't like him. And maybe that's mean to not like him instinctively, but I think it's okay. Because the next things, our conversation that preceded this made me go, yeah, no, I'm right. So we start talking. And he goes, somehow, I don't know how the fuck we got on this topic. And that's the thing with guys like this, is that you don't know how you got to the subject. But once you get to the subject, you never forget it, because it's so fucking irritating. And also you think to yourself, like, oh, how did we get there? It's almost impossible to get to that subject talking to a stranger. But this is his thing that he talks about. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is his thing where he's like, I'm going to meet a person, hopefully a woman, and say these things, and she will be impressed enough where we'll sleep together. Because he's not a human, he's a fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? He's not a guy talking to you. He's a fucking, he's a man with an agenda. That's what he's doing. He's a man on a mission to fuck. Okay? But he's not smart enough to shift gears into being like, oh, well, I'm not trying to fuck him. Maybe he was. I don't know. Whatever he was doing, I hated what he was saying to me. So we somehow got in the conversation of good and evil. Don't know how we got there. It wasn't, I mean, maybe on Halloween it's possible. You're talking about ghouls and goblins and whatever the fuck, and somehow you talk about the dead and evil and whatever. I don't know. I forget how we got there, but he starts talking about good and evil, and he goes, for me, the thing that I know about good and evil, it always comes down to, oh, that's what we were talking about. We were talking about Trump. Somehow we talked about Trump. And he said, what the fuck did he say? He said something about Trump, and he said that Trump knows that he's an asshole. Something about somebody knowing they're an asshole. He said something about Trump and him knowing that he's an asshole. I go, I don't think he thinks he's an asshole. I think that guy thinks he's the shit. Because I think most people who are assholes don't think they're assholes. Most people who are assholes think they're fucking sick, dude. Narcissists think they're dope as shit. And he seems like a narcissist to me. Politics aside, which I don't really like him for that. But just as a guy, the Donald is a cunt. Like, come on. Who thinks he's not one, you know? And so this guy's like, he knows he is. And I was like, I don't know if that's true. And maybe you're just telling me something about yourself where you know that you are. But also at the same time, he's proving my point, because he shifts from that, like, that guy knows he's an asshole, to being like, well, for me, it's all about good and evil comes down to altruism and selfishness. And he's selfish, right? And I was like, hey, man, so are you, dude. So are you, bro. What do you mean? You're looking, I've been watching you all night, dude. You're here to fuck and fuck alone. Okay? You're not looking for the love of your life. You're looking to stick your dick inside of a person. And you're standing here telling me that selfishness is evil? Well, you're trying to do some evil deeds tonight, my friend. Anyway, so I go, oh, really? And he goes, yeah. And I go, well, don't you think that sometimes you can have a selfish desire or want to do something selfishly for the benefit of someone else? And he goes, how do you mean? I go, well, what if you have someone like you really love, or like you have a loved person or a person you really care about, and then like it's them or someone else? And he goes, I'm not sure I follow. Which maybe that was a little muddled, but come on. So then I make it more clear. I go, all right, say you have a family. Okay. And it's either your family dies or another person dies or another family dies. Like, who do you pick? And he goes, I go, say it's like one of your family members dies or like a couple of people die. Who do you pick? And he goes, well, I do have a family and I would pick my family member to die. And then I was like, okay, well, yeah, okay, you have a family, but let's say, okay, what about if you it's not your family who you were born into, because that's the family you were born into. You didn't choose that. But say you had a chosen family. And he goes, well, I do have a chosen family. And then I was like, no, stop. I didn't say this, but I was like, okay, not a chosen... You know what I fucking mean, dude. This fucking guy. He knew what I meant, okay? I'm not talking about your fucking friends, dude. Your friends aren't your family, okay? Anybody who ever says, I don't have friends, I have family, you're not Vin Diesel, dude. Hey, man, you're not Vin Diesel, okay? This guy thought he was fucking Vin Diesel. That's what was happening. That guy literally hit me with the fucking Vin Diesel line. I did not realize that till now. Dude, get your head out of fucking Vin Diesel's asshole. You don't live in the Fast and Furious universe. If I say a chosen family, you know I mean wife and kids, dude. That's what you know what I mean, dude. Not even that. You know I mean a partner and a kid. That's what you know that I mean, dude. You don't have a chosen fucking family. Okay? Unless you are fucking attaching a safe in a bank to a car, to a fucking Mustang VT, and dragging it through the streets while Dwayne Johnson chases after you. Unless you're doing that, you don't have family, you got friends, okay? What's his fucking name in the movie? Dom? Dom would not consider your crew family, okay? You guys don't have the fucking chops or cojones to be called a family, okay? Rob some shit first, have somebody die in your crew, then it can be your chosen fucking family and they'll make a movie about you, all right? Until that happens, shut the fuck up, you know what I mean. Anyway. I'm amped up, dude. I hate this guy. I'm amped up on hatred and caffeine, dude. Okay, so said, so I go, okay, no, well, say you have a wife and kids, okay? And I'm surprised he didn't fucking attack me on that and be like, well, how do you know I want a wife? It's like, shut the fuck. I know you want a wife because you've been fucking a vulture on these women all night, dude. Not a hawk, a vulture, dude. You've been fucking oogling ladies all night. I know what you like, okay? I get your vibe, dude. I'm talking to you right now. You said altruism and evil. You said good and evil comes down to altruism and selfishness. I know you like women and you say that to them to try and fuck them. I know what you're doing, dude. Anyway, I go, what if you had a wife and kids, and it was either them or another bigger family, or is that your family or that family? And he goes, well, who, like, how, like, is it, if they're a bigger family, I would always choose the least people. I would always choose the least people dying over the most dying. And I go, okay. And then he brings up his friend who's hosting the party. He brings him up. Okay. Who's apparently his good fucking friend. I don't know. And he goes, he goes, like, even him, like, I don't know, like, I probably, if it came down to him, like, he brought him up. Basically, he brought him up as, like, an example of, like, I mean, I'm not even sure I would save his life. And I was like, what, dude? I go, okay, so it's him and two other people. Would you save your friend or would you let him die? And he goes, it's him and one other person? I would let him live. I go, okay, him and two other people. And he goes, no, I'd have him die. Didn't even think about it. Didn't even fucking bat an eye. And also, he's the one who brought up that friend initially. So I'm in a weird position where I'm like, are you just trying to tell me that you want your fucking friend dead? Are you just trying to bring up like, hey, by the way, I don't actually like him that much. I want him to fucking die. Because you're the one who involved him in this scenario. And also, 2 people, dude, it needs at least 3. I feel like if you hit 3 people, I held up 2 fingers for 3. 3 fingers, 3 people. I feel like 3 people is enough to be like, is this okay? And even then you'd be like, yeah, it's okay. I'm going to let 3 people die. I would let 3 people die for any of my close friends. Easily, dude. I think I would top out at 5. 5 people dead for my best friend, I would do it. Why not? I don't know them, dude. I don't know what they've done. They could have just fucking murdered and ate a child. I don't know what's going on in their life, dude. We're already in a fucking weird scenario where they gotta die or my friend dies. I'm sure that we've all done some fucked up shit, and I love him and I don't love them. So I'm gonna pick him, dude. You're not thinking enough about the scenario. What if your best friend is gonna cure cancer, right? And it's like either he dies or 17 people die in that moment. So if you kill him, then what? Thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people die of cancer? It's like you're not thinking it at all. It's like also it's not altruism. It's just you putting fucking. It's just you not thinking of people as thinking of people as people. You're thinking of just like, well, a human life is a human life no matter what. And it's like that. I don't know if that's the case, dude. And also, it's not human. We're not built that way. No one's built that way. Where it's like, oh yeah. Put it this way, when a fucking terrible thing happens, when a fucking earth-shattering event happens, and everyone's in danger, what do? You take your family with you, and you go somewhere safe. You don't start going, listen, let me try and get as many people I know to safety right now. No. The first thing you think is, let me protect my loved ones. And that's not a fucked up thing to think. Because you are, by doing that, not being selfish. Do you understand what I'm saying? Anyway, and he was getting annoyed at me because I was giving him pushback. And I forget what happened. I think somebody started talking to him, and then I moved away. And then by the end of the fucking night, his spiel had worked on somebody. I don't know what happened, though. They went into another room, and then people were like looking through into the room. They didn't want to go in. It was the 2 of them in the living room, and the living room is the biggest fucking space, dude. And then no one wanted to go in there because I guess they wanted to give them their space, but they weren't giving us the space, you know? There's fucking bedrooms you could slide into, dude. Go into the bathroom. We're all packed into the kitchen because you are too scared to make a move, dude. And then he left, and the girl stayed and was confused. So what the fuck's going on, dude? We got kicked out of the living room for 25 minutes while you couldn't decide whether or not to fucking kiss somebody who clearly liked you, dude? If you're going to have cold feet, do it someplace where the beer pong table isn't, you know? Anyway. I don't know. It was a decent time. It's a decent party. I don't know. There was one person there who was super cute, dude. Super cute. You know how when you see, there's a difference between thinking somebody's cute and seeing somebody and being like, oh, I hope we end up talking. And there was a girl there who I saw, and I was like, oh, I hope we end up talking. And we did. We were all in the kitchen, because again, we're in the kitchen constantly. That's where I live at parties. Close to the fridge. You can wash your hands if you need to. You can jump out the window if you want to kill yourself. It's a good spot, dude. But she was in the kitchen, and so was this couple who were dressed like the Fairly Odd Parents, and so was my friend. And we were all talking, and my friend likes to call me handsome, but he hasn't called me in a while because I get uncomfortable when I'm called that. So I forget what happened. I think one of my other friends ended up calling me that unprompted. And then it caused other people to say it. But I think this was a separate scenario. That happened earlier in the party, and then later in the party. Early in the party that happened, and then I said to my friend, one of my friends said it, and then the friend who usually says it was like, see, I didn't even tell him to say that. And then a couple of my other friends were like, yeah, you are. And then I was like, all right, compared to who? I go according to who though? And then my friend got kind of offended because he's like, what do you mean according to us? And I was like, no, I'm not. He got a little bit like, what do you mean? What does that mean? And I felt bad because I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to be like, what do you guys fucking know? Because I appreciate the compliment. It's a nice compliment. But what I meant was, and when I said this to my other friend who usually calls me it, he got it. He was like, yeah, no, you want to be called it from somebody who doesn't know you, who you think is attractive. And I'm like, yeah. Anyway, this girl who I was like, oh, I hope we talk to her. We're talking to her in the kitchen, and she was talking about horses. And I was saying something about like, she was saying how she'd be scared to skydive, but she like loves riding horses. And I was like, see, I'd be more afraid to ride a horse than skydive. And she's like, no, if you fall off a horse, you're like fucking like that. Like you're there's something wrong with you. Like you're stupid. And I was like, damn, dude, you hate Christopher Reeves. This woman, I don't know if this woman knew who Christopher Reeves was, but she was shitting on his fucking grave, dude. She was like, you have to be a fucking moron to fall off of a horse. I was like, well, I guess Chris Reeves was fucking dumb then, dude. I guess Superman was an idiot to you. And then even when I brought him up, she's like, well, yeah, I mean, what was he doing? And she's like, well, if you skydive, it's a long way down. I go, yeah, but you got time to chill, dude. If you fall off a horse, you got no time to think. You just fucking hit the ground and you're trampled. And then you become Christopher Reeves, and then you go from Superman to fucking horribly injured to then dying and have a random lady at a party go, yeah, you're a fucking idiot. So the horse is more fearful to ride. Right? The horse is more... If Christopher Reeve's ultimate end can be some random woman at a party saying he's a dumbass for falling, I feel like I feel like he should have skydived that day. I'm sure if you asked him, he would have been like, fuck yeah, dude, I would much rather have skydived. God damn it, dude, I fucking hate these horses. Anyway, but somehow something came up where somebody said something about like handsome or something, and then she looked at me and she was like, and then I think my friend was like, what do you think of him? And then she was like, oh yeah, he's or she said something about like, oh he's handsome or something like that. And then he was like, he is, right? And then she's like, oh yeah, she goes, he's an extremely hot version of Mac. He's an extremely hot version of It's Always Sunny. She was a little drunk. She was a little drunk, dude. She was exaggerating a bit, okay? I was a little bit of a blurry image to her. Also, the sentence, he looks like an extremely hot version of It's Always Sunny. It's like, of the show? Who you talking about? I go, who you talking about? Because I'm like, Charlie Day, Dennis. She goes, of Mac. You're like an extremely hot version of Mac. And I was like, oh, damn, dude. Because Rob McElhenney is an attractive dude by himself. But to say I'm an extremely attractive version, that's insane, dude. It showed me two things. It showed me that she was very drunk and very nice. I guess three things. Very drunk, very nice, and also that she probably thought I was cute. And then she started saying, like, yeah, you look like you played sports. Like, you look like you played sports, but, like, you loved it. And I was like, are you calling me, like, jacked right now? Because you're wrong. Do you think I'm as ripped as Mac? Because I can take my shirt off and disappoint you, dude. I'm not, you better not be thinking I'm late season Mac, dude, because he is much buffer and much hotter than me. But again, blurred vision, you know? Anyway, so she says that, and then I was like, oh, I like that. That is a compliment I'll take because I don't know you at all, so I really appreciate that. I don't know where you're getting all this fucking sports shit from. You were wrong, dude. I liked sports, but I did not transform my body. But I was like, oh, you're also very beautiful. I go, thank you, I appreciate that, and I also think you're very beautiful. And then she just was kind of like, smiled a little bit and was like kind of quiet, and it was like kind of quiet, and I was like, God damn it, dude. Oh, because earlier, I fucking missed this part. Great at telling stories, dude. I missed the most important part. Earlier, she had mentioned her boyfriend. So then she says I'm attractive and all this stuff, and I'm like, god damn it, dude. God damn it, dude. God damn it. And then we keep talking to her, and then she gets to a point where she's saying, and then I realized that her friend or her sister, she keeps calling, I think it was her sister, she keeps saying how her sister was the girl who was hanging out with the fucking other Jake, dude, the asshole. And I was so bummed, dude. I was like, your sister's got bad fucking taste. Also weird that you guys both are gunning for these Jakes, dude. You guys have Jake genetics, I guess. You guys are just attracted to Jakes naturally. That's weird as shit. What's her boyfriend's name? Jake? Then we got 3 Jakes. Fuck, dude. That guy's intuition was correct. God damn it, dude. He was right. So, anyway, she's like trying to see if she's fine. And then I guess the guy had left, and then she was like, oh, she's decompressing. Or she's like, trying to figure out, like, what, she's like decompressing? She's like, yeah. Because, like, that guy was cute, I guess he left. I don't know what happened. And I was like, that guy sucked. And she was like, yeah, he was cute. Yeah, exactly. That's about it, dude. Anyway. I don't know. I shouldn't be so hard on the guy. What am I bringing to the fucking table, dude? Dimples? That's about it. Dimples and a fucking irritating laugh. Anyway, so I keep saying anyway. I say anyway a lot, dude. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. That's me in conversation. I keep going, anyway. And the girl's like, Jesus Christ, can you shut up? No, so we're talking to her. It's the end of the party. Her sister's trying to figure out her life. Because the guy she'd been talking to all night left for some reason. I know why he left. Maybe he was being altruistic. Because they were both very drunk, so I think maybe he was doing what he thought was right, which was the altruistic thing to do, which was not hooking up with her. Which, you know what? That's a good move. If that's what ended up happening, if he was like, I think she's too drunk, I'm going to be an altruist, and he left, that's good, dude. But it was very confusing because it seemed like he didn't even get her number. I don't know. It was all very strange. Anyway, we're talking to the woman who said I'm Mac, and she's like, oh yeah, I got to wait for my sister. I think we're going to leave soon. And then we're like, oh, cool. You live in Brooklyn? And she was like, oh no, she lives in Brooklyn. And I was like, where do you live? And she was like, Boston. I go, oh, why do you live in Boston? She's like, that's where my boyfriend works. I was like, oh. She's like, yeah, but I want to live here, though. And I was like, God damn it, dude. That's not the first time that's happened, dude. That fucking happens. I hate it, dude. I hate it. Next time somebody does that, I'm just going to go, hey, dude, what are you doing then? Next time that happens, I'm going to look at the girl and go, hey, break up with him now. You should call him and break up with him right now, dude. That happened to me in fucking college. One of my first big college parties that I went to as a freshman. I was hanging out with a girl, very cute girl and her friend, the whole night. And at the end of the night, they were by the door. Similar kind of scenario. I had heard about her boyfriend already. And it was like similar scenario where the person was like, I don't know. People do that. What people do is they fucking are dating someone. They're not that interested. They've been complaining about them for a while. Then they go to a party in a place they don't live in. This happened to my brother's bachelor party. This woman was from Tennessee. Oh, no, this woman was from Florida visiting her friend in Tennessee, and she had a boyfriend, but she was chatting up the guy we're with. It's just a thing people do. They're in a new place, and they start thinking to themselves like, oh, this could be my life. And I'm so far away from the other person. For some reason, distance makes you go, it's less. He's further away. He won't hear it. Is that what that comes from? He's far enough away where he can't possibly hear this happen. So we can do it. We can fuck. Anyway, first ever college party, big college party. They were about to leave and they were waiting by the door and they weren't sure if they should leave yet. And I hear them talking and her friend is just telling her, like, just make out with him. Just do something. Just kiss him. Just fucking do something. Who cares? Your boyfriend sucks. That's what she was doing. And I just stood there going, this sucks. And now 10 years later, I'm still sitting here going, this fucking sucks, dude. Shit does not change, dude. 10 years later, still at a party going, what the fuck, dude? I don't know. She was very cool. Who knows, man? I'm an optimist. I'm an optimist and a hopeless romantic. She was at my friend's party. Who knows, dude? Maybe she'll fucking move to New York and dump her boyfriend and I can go horseback riding with her. No, that won't happen. I'll never see that person again. And that's how it goes. That's life, dude. That's life. Life is you going, hey, that person's really cute. I hope we end up talking. And then you do, and then you're like, oh, shit. And then you find out, like, oh, she also is interested in me. But no. And then you find out she has a boyfriend, and you're like, damn it, dude. And then you never see that person again. That's life, dude. And it's honestly not that bad. All right, that's it, dude. The fucking timer just went off. This camera's probably about to go black. Yeah, dude, this was fun. It's very hot in this room. I needed to stop talking, but this was fun. You guys are awesome. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching as always. You're the fucking best. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Hope your Halloweens were sick. J-A